As MacArthur would stare right at the Pope would look at him. As the Pope was confused for a while. Did he get out about how he views the Pope? Was the Pope going to slaughter him? That's what he thought at first, but he didn't seem mad or angry. The Pope would say, "I heard about your great victory, and that is why I'm here to make you the next Supreme Commander." MacArthur doesn't smile a lot. He's been through a lot, and well, he prefers to keep his emotions hidden. However, hearing this news, for the first time in a long time, MacArthur smirked, as he felt a small volt of joy fill his body. Now he could finally prove himself as a commander. Now he can finally lead armies and wave the men. And he can finally make society into what he wanted. As then MacArthur and the Pope looked at each other, MacArthur would say, "Thank you." The Pope would laugh and say, "Most people would be more excited. However, considering I heard you never smile, I guess I'll take it. Come, follow me. What about the garrison? This garrison's just a small town. It doesn't matter. Besides, Barou's gonna try to go straight for the capital, so I have a plan." As then, the Pope's wings would begin to flap. As MacArthur would grab onto the Pope, he would then fly to the capital. As Barou was sitting down, he began to sing magical signals straight to Luna, who was ahead, watching. As Barou would say, "Are you there?" Luna would say, yes, I'm here. I'm ahead. Where else would I be?" As she would watch MacArthur being inaugurated, as she would tell him that the rebels were destroyed and MacArthur was a new commander. Barou was confused. Barou was a high commander and knew a lot of soldiers and generals. But MacArthur, he's only seen him once, and that was the garrison, a small town. How did he prove himself? Once he heard the full story, MacArthur seemed like a genius, and Barou knew that this was his new rival. As he smirked, "Finally, someone to test my might against. Not my physical might, but my might as a general and commander." Luna would say, "Yeah, I'm happy for you. When will I get my body?" Barou would laugh and say, "Soon, very soon." As then he canceled the transmission. As Barou would look out the window and see the destruction he's caused, as he saw the cities burned down, Barou would say, "I know you wouldn't want this, Alfred, but I'm selfish, and I need revenge." As then we cut back to MacArthur and the Pope. As the MacArthur and the Pope looked at each other, the Pope would say, "Can you kneel down?" MacArthur didn't like this, but he would do it anyway. As he kneeled down, the Pope would then give him the commander's outfit, an outfit made of pure gold. "This is your Supreme Commander outfit. I had to take it all from Barou. There's been 22 Supreme Commanders. You are the 22nd, about to fight the 21st. As MacArthur says, "So, what are my orders?" "To defend the capital. You see, Barou's gonna try to flank and surround it. I need you to protect the flank and make sure he can just barely pincer to it. That way, he'll be surrounded, and I can fight him one-on-one to prove myself. I could try this out and outright, but I don't trust Barou. He would try to trick me, and his men could give him support. He is my equal. The only way this can be fair is if we both battle each other." MacArthur didn't like the Pope, like I said, but him hearing this made him respect him. He believed this was a true way to fight between warriors, to fight each other one-on-one. As then we cut to Rex. Rex, the top necromancer, was trying to absorb King Ludendorff's soul. If they can combine souls like Barou and the Kaiser did, he can become much more powerful. As he would put down his body in a ritual and begin to chant over and over and over again, as it took days, but eventually he would absorb his soul. As King Ludendorff would say, What's going on?" Rex would smile and say, "We are now one being, and now our powers are enormous." He would look around. Rex was surrounded by a cemetery, as then he would slightly raise his hand. As they all turned into skeletons and rose from the dead, he would smirk. "Now I can create my own army." King Ludendorff would say, but you forgot one thing. Now that I'm inside you, I can try to take control of your body. True, you could. However, I'm the only one who knows the necromancy spells. And even with our powers combined, my body was not made for strong battling. So, you're gonna have to rely on magic. A technique that you don't really like that much. King Ludendor would snarl and say, "You bastard." As he said, "Oh, come on now, you enjoy it. Besides, we're partners now, and together we can rule this planet. Don't you want to bring back a monarchy?" King Ludendor would say, "I want to bring back the human monarchy, not an undead monstrosity." We'll see about that. You'll change your mind soon enough, and we'll be kings of humanity. As Rex would begin to laugh. As in, we cut to MacArthur, as MacArthur would be sent back to the front lines, ready to fight. As him and his army were ready to serve, he only had simple orders, was to make sure that Pope could barely reach the capital and make sure that he couldn't surround it. So to stop him, he had an army next to the capital. Arthur's job was to make sure it wasn't flanked, as another commander stood in front of the capital to stop Barou from coming in, but that commander wasn't going to be able to do it. MacArthur knew Barou was cunning, and he wished that he got to command an army against him. He wanted nothing but to prove to everyone that he was the better supreme commander, but for now, he must protect his position. As it was a mountain with passes, MacArthur built defenses all around it. As he wasn't actually going to use it, he knew that they would easily pummel through any defense he made. That's why he would hide in caves and wait for them to march forward and attack them from behind and around. Especially since they relied on flight, because he was going against the legendary chieftain, the Mothman. As we cut to Mothman, he had his bats and moths fly over the area and scout things out. As they flew from the sky, MacArthur would use scarecrows as he dressed them up to trick them. Keep in mind that his weapons and arms were down there, along with a few steam tanks, so they were not able to fully see everything. This would trick them and fly back. However, Mothman was worried because he heard of MacArthur's last trick. As he said, he's probably planning something. So he wanted to make sure everything was safe. His plan was to light everything on fire and just burn it all down to the ground. As Mothman would get his troops ready, they would launch napalm from the sky, burning the men down there, burning the scarecrows, burning everything. But this made MacArthur smile. Because of all the fire, they wouldn't be able to see them through the smoke and ash, and they can quickly get behind enemy lines and set everything up for motion. As that's exactly what they did. As MacArthur would get all his men to set everything up. He may not have numerous steam tanks, but he didn't need it. He had the element of surprise. As Mothman and his army went through the pass, they marched through the burning ash, marching through the death and destruction. As MacArthur's men would hide behind them, hiding in caves, getting their sniper rifles ready. As suddenly, rocks began to fall above them. As MacArthur's men would get onto the mountain and throw down rocks, throw down everything they could. As the magic mages would cast their spells, burning down the forest around them, spreading the fire that was already created, making it so they can't see. As suddenly, men one by one were all taken down. Mothman would see this and began to get angry. As he would flap his wings so fast, the fire would disappear. But as that happened, there was nothing but darkness, as he was all alone, as he heard footsteps around him. Mothman would fly and be able to tear around any soldier. As he began to fly up, he organized a retreat to fall back and gain a better position. As Mothman was able to fly around, any soldier or any weapon that was shot against him, he was able to stop. As a sniper was there with a special weapon made to kill chieftains. As he fired it though, Mothman would dodge it in midair and fly down and chop him in half. As Mothman would say, monsters admired strength above all else. However, my strength wasn't enough to make leader prowess. As he realized his defeat, he was forced to fall back with his army. As everyone cheered MacArthur's name, as MacArthur would say, "Stop cheering, the war's only just begun." Besides, this battle was nothing but a sideshow for the main show, as we cut to Barou, as his army would begin to march towards the capital. It was only a matter of time before the armies met and the Pope and Barou would fight each other one on one.